Welcome to Tansson TV Plus. I'm Brandon.
And our mom.
Thank you so much for joining us here today.
Yep, thank you for joining with us again.
Yeah, we always love doing this. And Mom, how is your Saturday going?
Brandon, my Saturday is going fine. Once more, we're under another alert for snow. We're in an area that doesn't get snow, so I don't know. It's been 2 months of this now. So, anyway, we'll see what happens.
Well, who knows? I mean, we see little trickles here and there. But Mom, what are we speaking about here today?
Today, we're talking about the TV show DMV.
Yes, and so this debuted with its pilot episode on October the 13th of 2025.
All right, and I'll give just a little bit of information about, and we're talking about the first episode. And so this TV show takes place in East Hollywood, and it's basically some of the behind the scenes activities that occurs at a DMV. And so currently in this particular DMV, there are consultants who are coming, or actually they arrive to observe this particular DMV center. And then they need to make a decision about, they meaning the consultants, are working to make a decision about which DMV in that particular area is going to be shut down. And so they plan to just kind of observe the activities of this particular DMV. They say for a few months, and the consultants are going to make a decision. And so through this process, we get a chance to meet from this particular place. We get to meet the receptionist, the manager, photographer, behind the wheel, test giver, and any other position that possibly works at the DMV. And so that's the TV show and the first episode in a nutshell.
Well, Mom, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome, Brandon.
And overall, what did you think about this pilot?
I just thought it was okay. I mean, I watched it, and actually, I've seen it twice because we had talked about whether or not we were going to talk about this when it premiered in October, and so we went back and rewatched it and decided we were going to have some commentary about this TV show. And so, overall, I would just say okay. Your thoughts, Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's just okay as well. And Mom, before I get into sort of my thoughts about why that is, did you want to share a little bit as to what just makes this just okay for you?
Sure. It is. It mimics a mockumentary. And I know we've talked about that throughout this month of January. And and I was really surprised that it was not a mockumentary because I had to do a little research into that myself. But it's really the consultants there that kind of make it seem as though it is. And it to me, the acting is just okay. Now they had its moments that were that were funny, but to me, it just is not a TV show that makes me go, "Oh my gosh, I got to see this next week." And so, for that matter, which is why I'm just basically saying, okay, because I can't quite figure out where the TV show is going. And I couldn't figure out by the first episode either whether or not these consultants were going to hang around. We have seen some scenes here and there from some future episodes, but I have not sat and watched the whole thing. And so these consultants could still be there. I don't know, but it was just okay. What about you?
Yeah, so this definitely falls under the category of workplace comedy, if I remember correctly,
Mhm.
and so quite a bit of these mockumentaries we spoke about earlier in the month are also workplace comedies. That being said, I think for me, I don't care as much for the sort of realistic esque single camera comedies as much. And I'm not saying this is for all single camera shows, but I think for us, as we've experienced throughout these TV discussions over the past few years, is that we very much like the traditional multicam sitcoms.
Yep, we do, and we've discovered that as we've been watching them.
Yes, and of course, our genre, of course, is family multi-camera sitcoms at that. And so, sort of seeing this sort of show, it's not necessarily per se bad, but I just don't think it really fits towards like our viewing per se. And again, doesn't really have like we have an initiating event sort of, but like you're saying, there's not really a set direction we're really seeing. Other than that, these will just sort of be days of our life within working at the DMV.
Yeah, and I had high hopes for it. It comes on after the neighborhood, so I know they've been promoting that. And then at some point in time, it started to take the place, or at least go before the neighborhood. And so, they were kind of setting the show up to be something that was going to be really great. And I'm not saying that right now it may not be. It's just that it was not, the pull was not there from the first episode to make me go and say, oh, let me watch it again.
Meanwhile, for me, I feel that it's not so much of a I don't care for the show. It's more so it feels so similar to so many shows that have debuted over these past few years. Many of them, not this one, but many of them are in that mockumentary or single camera style. And so, to me, between shows like Abbott Elementary and um, let's see, we have St. Denis Medical that we spoke about last year, and some other shows, is that it seems like they're just sort of taking the same concept and just applying it to different types of jobs.
They are. And we'll have to reflect a little later, maybe not in this episode, about which mockumentaries we really like. We've talked about the ones that we did like, but they were just here and there. And so I'm wondering if we have a common thread between them. And so maybe in a future episode, we'll talk about in general which ones we finally decided that we liked. And we kind of matched a little bit on those.
Yeah, and I mean, and speaking on a more positive way, I do like the characters and how they're characterized within this first episode. I can definitely see some sort of room for some of the dynamics from the friendships to the I can't care for these people between each other and potential romantic interests. So I mean, all of that sort of building up within this first episode.
Yeah, and and some of the back behind the scenes things I did like in regards to maybe some of the people they are meeting at the DMV, because I very can easily visualize this group of people who are coming in.
Yes, but I think sort of something that felt just strange, I guess, was the whole thing of trying to the break back into the office sort of situation that was going on in this episode and climbing through the window. That didn't really make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, the climbing through the window thing, or climbing out of the window, I should say, didn't make sense, especially since they said that she was on a nail. There should have been a little blood. Not that I was looking for that, but I mean, there should have been a little something there.
Yeah, I just felt that was really off. I guess it didn't really make a lot of sense. And we're also seeing that a major part of this is that the sort of mysteriousness of the new DMV worker, Noah, within this episode. But we're also sort of establishing that he both knows everything, but also knows nothing at the same regard. But from having watched the next few episodes, it doesn't seem that they're really progressing on that front.
Okay, and and I'll have to go back. Like I said, I'm not saying that I won't watch more, but maybe not now. So I will eventually see a couple more episodes, and especially since around it kind of comes on around the neighborhood, so I might see one while it's live.
Well, Mom, before we head into connections, is there anything else you want to say or want to rate the episode?
Well, yes, I will rate this one. Okay, yeah, I will rate it. Like I said, I like to rate the episodes 1 through 5, 5 being the highest. I give this one a 2.5. And you, Brandon?
And Mom, I'm going to have to agree with you. Definitely, I feel middle of the road. And again, I'm not saying that the show's bad by any means necessary. It's just not really towards my style, and I don't really see anything that really differentiates this from other workplace comedies that we've seen.
Yeah, and you'll have to let us know in the comments. Is this a show that you like? If so, let us know.
Yeah, definitely let us know. I think actually what would have made this a little interesting, and I do see that there are elements of this, is if there's someone trying to, I guess, shake everything up. I mean, we do have the consultants, and we do also have the character of Barbara that's trying to sort of, in her promotion, revamp the DMV, if you will. So, I mean, there certainly are elements there. I just think, at least initially, if they had just done a little bit more with that, I think that would have made a more unique premise.
Yeah, I agree totally. I agree totally. Did we have any connections with this show?
Yes, Mom, we do.
Okay, what are the connections?
So the connection is with the director Trent O'Donnell.
Okay, and who is he, and what did he do?
So in addition to being the director of this episode and the next few that followed, he's also the executive producer. But he also directed the first episode and executive produced a different show we watched.
Oh, what is that?
the 2020 version of yes, the 2020 version of Saved by the Bell.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Did we have any others?
Not for this one.
Okay. All right. Was there any other thing that you wanted to discuss about the show, Brandon?
Oh, not necessarily, but I did find it interesting. I haven't heard of it, but this show is actually based off of a short story.
Oh, really? Where do you know anything about that?
I don't know anything about the short story, but it's how chicken flavored and lemon scented.
Huh. I'm about to look that up, Brandon.
Yeah, we definitely will have to.
All right. Well, we thank everybody for watching today.
And we look forward to seeing you next time.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.